Hello, this is Daryl at 10 Foot Truck, Good Attitude Services. Just got back from a removal job with a repeat customer, and it went really well. And all of the stuff that I took from the house, it was donatable. I donated it to the Ark, which is the main place I donate to now. They're really good about donations. I like the place. I've been there like 3 times now, and there's only one thing they didn't take, and that's this shelving. I took it apart because it was kind of flimsy when I was trying to move it, so I ended up taking it apart. It has these wood dowels and these connectors, similar to the IKEA type. I don't know if it's IKEA, but it's similar to that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, this stuff, when you get in a box, you put it together in your house. Sometimes when you're moving it out, it's because it's not as sturdy as your regular furniture. It can fall apart, or so it's not guaranteed. I'm sure that's probably why they didn't want to take it, because it could break apart when someone's moving it, or if they buy it. So typically, you want to buy these in a box. That's what I do, and I would put it together, use it. Maybe I can move it. I have some that I put together and I've moved them. It depends on the size. Some of those taller bookcases, the ones they tend to get. This one especially, because it didn't have a back. It was just open shelves, so it was really kind of teeter-tottering. It's kind of flimsy. So I can see why they didn't take that. So I don't know if I'm going to use it. All the pieces are here, but yeah, I really don't have a lot of space for it. Maybe I could use it outside. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't last very long. The weather would probably tear it apart, and I don't know anybody who needs one, so I might have to dispose of it. And since it's just a small amount of stuff, I gotta wait till I build up another truckload to go over to the transfer station, because tomorrow I have my regular palletized freight transport job, and so I have to empty the truck out. I did have another call earlier today, and I thought I gave him a great price. He said he had to think about it, so I don't know if they're going to be calling back tomorrow. But at least I got these jobs, so I've got stuff already in the beginning of the week, which is always good. And both of them are repeat customers. So those regular jobs, like the one with Palletized Freight, that's great, because I always can almost guarantee they're going to call me within the week. And this was this customer had helped out 3 times or 2 times before. Was it 2 times, or? I think I've done several loads to this customer. It's the 3rd, but they're moving tomorrow, so they had to have all this stuff out, and because their movers are coming in tomorrow to move the rest of the stuff out. So that was a good day. Not too bad. Not a lot of miles on the truck. It was really close, very close, and even the donation place is very close. So I always like going to the donation centers. Saves money, and then it gives opportunity for them to make money for their cause. So I'm always happy about that. So it's a great day today. It's nice weather, nice and sunny, and perfect weather. It's like in the 60s, mid 60s. It's supposed to be around 60s, 50s all week. So hopefully I'll get some more. This is early on in the week. I'll do my palletized work job, and I'm advertising. And I noticed when I put my ads up on Craigslist, it's like they have to be, if I put them at a certain time in the morning, I will get a call right after, for the most part. Trying to experimenting with putting in different times. I don't know what the best time is. It's not really competitive on Craigslist here. There isn't. It's not like you get buried in the ads. I can put up an ad and it'll be up there. You can still see it on the first page or whatever. So I don't really need to put a lot of ads. It's just the timing. A lot of times it's just some of the jobs I get. It's like I put up the ad and I get a call right after, and that turns into a job. So it's a lot of it has to do with timing. So I'm working on that, seeing if it's morning, midday, or later afternoon, which time to put those on to get that job, because I know sometimes people would call me if I put up an ad in the afternoon after work, like at 5 or 6. Some people were getting off work and they were getting prepared to get something done, needed some work done, and they had time after work or before work, you don't want to go too early. And sometimes I usually put it around 10 o'clock, and then sometimes around lunchtime people will call. But so I'm kind of trying to figure out a balance on that. Like I said last week, I got a job off of Google, which is one of the, that was pretty rare. I don't really get a lot of jobs off of Google. I know a lot of people recommend that, but I don't pay for Google ads. And I just do what I have to do. Like for instance, I try to get reviews and try to get do a lot of videos and do pictures and updates as much as I can on the Google, just to get that to get the clicks on there and get the website clicks. I guess I don't really understand all that, but so somehow they were able to Google me, and that was a rare one. Usually almost all of my jobs I get are specifically on Craigslist or repeat customers, like the one I do for Palletized. And I got that job off Craigslist. Pretty much all the repeat customers that are repeat contract type jobs that I've gotten, like for stores and customer contracts that I've gotten over the years, all of those were off of Craigslist and now this hauling job. So Craigslist for me has been pretty much the main way I've been doing my marketing, and I'm trying to learn the other type of marketing, but not that successful at it yet. But I'm starting to get some calls and some people are going to that site. So it takes a while. I got patience. I'm going to work on it still. It's early in the season. It's April 22nd. So we're early on the season. Things really start booming in May, June, July, August, especially for me and around here. Because since I'm knocking over some stuff here, I'm gonna have to store this somewhere. Tomorrow I'm gonna need space in here for the pallets and getting that over. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Get that, get the blankets folded, get the truck swept out, getting ready for the road. Yeah, it's been good. What else I was gonna talk about? I'm still working on the pricing too. That's something I still haven't got. Since I don't know what people are pricing around here, I trying to be very competitive at it, and I need to do more research on that. Because today when I told the guy the price, although there could have been other reasons why he didn't want to confirm the job. Sometimes they're like, well, maybe they could rent a truck and all that kind of thing. But I do my pricing. It's at the point where, it's almost like if you went out and rented a truck and then you had to hire labor and you needed to rent the dollies and rent, equipment, and all the time you have to spend driving to the rental place, driving back, making sure the equipment's swept out, cleaned out, putting the gas in, paying for the fuel, paying for the mileage. To me, I think my prices are fairly competitive. I mean, they're like, it's almost like, well, you might as well just hire me. And that's the way I feel, because you don't have to hire an extra laborer, and you don't have to pay for and rent equipment. That's all here in the truck. And then you don't have to drive to the rental location and drive back and all that and kind of coordinate that. So I think my prices are really competitive, but I'm going to continue to try to adjust those prices. Still, especially with junk removal, because people understand the hourly. They understand, like, when you're doing moving, you're, $80 an hour or whatever it is. For me, since it's just one man, I can't charge for another labor. So, but when you're doing junk removal, you're doing per volume. And I don't know if I should be, maybe someone out there knows who's been doing junk removal longer. Because I was watching some videos about it earlier. Just giving them the price, not explaining them. Like, maybe when I'm explaining, like, well, like today when the guy called, he asked about, do you do this type of junk removal? Do you do this type of work? And I said yes. He says, well, how much what's your fee? And I had to ask some questions, like, what size, the amount, what are the items, and that kind of thing. And then I told him that I charged per volume, per truckload. I wonder sometimes if it's better to just say, this is what I, let me, look at the items and kind of get an idea, and then I'll just give you a price. So maybe someone out there who does junk removal, maybe give me a tip on that, or an idea how a better way to do that, because I'm wondering if explaining it to them how it works is not a good idea. It's better just to give them a price, because when you're giving them, I charge per volume, maybe that just doesn't. When I told them that I charged for a truckload or a half truckload, maybe that's just confusing to them. I don't know, and maybe that just doesn't work with selling the service. That's a question I have. I don't know. I'm going to try next time someone calls. I'm just going to give them a price. I like to see the items up front. That's the best way. Sometimes people don't want to bother with that. They just want to tell you what it is. And it's hard for me to visualize sometimes. I mean, I can visualize to a certain extent. So I got to work on that. But pictures, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So it's, it's a learning curve. It's a learning experience, how you're going to charge. And, I've done some mistakes where I've charged way too little on jobs that had so much weight, like construction materials. So I learned on that case, furniture is usually pretty much around the same, unless it's like heavy stuff like pianos and things. But so I'm going to try adjust that or work with a different approach on phone calls. That might help, because I think I could have sold that job this morning. I have a feeling if I had just told them the price without trying to explain it, it may have been easier for the sale. I'm not sure. I didn't want to reduce the amount. I thought I was already fair, but you never know. I mean, people are looking around. There's a lot of people that are charging way cheaper, and then there's a lot of people charging way more. So you kind of want to be in the middle, I think. Since I don't have the overhead that a big company has, I can be more flexible about that. But I don't want to be so low that I'm going to put myself out of business. I have to. There's a lot of maintenance, a lot of things you have to deal with, even though it's not overhead of having a warehouse and an office. But just maintain your truck, or if you have to rent a truck, like some guys I know, they rent trucks, so you have to pay for that too. So there's other things besides fuel, time, gas, and all that. Then you got to pay your taxes, and all these things you have to cover. So that's the tricky part sometimes. The work sometimes, you go in there, you do the work. I enjoy doing the work, but a lot of times it's the numbers, getting the things right, getting the pricing right, and getting that set and the sales, and coming across on the phone, learning about how to make make the sale on the phone. Sometimes I trip up on the phone, get nervous or just forget what to say. So I'm working on that on the phone calls. A lot of times I don't even answer, and I know that's not good. Sometimes because the times you answer the phone, even see what happens is I'm getting a lot of these junk calls. So I just stopped answering the phone, and then recently I just let it go to message, and I realized that I am losing jobs that way. So now I'm answering the phone no matter what. And sometimes when I'm answering the phone, I need a script or something so I know like what to ask and to make it a smoother phone call. And I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to do that, what the best way to simplify that, so that when someone calls, I can give them a price, have it right in front of me, and try to make the sale as soon as I can, so that they don't go and look for someone else. Because obviously he went and looked and probably found someone either cheaper, or he found someone maybe he just worked better on the phone. I don't know. It's hard to say because I can't answer those questions. But so it's always a learning process when you're doing this, when you're running your own service. So yeah, that's something I'm trying to get better at. I mean, I can do my job. The physical part of the job, and moving the things around, loading. That's to me is second nature. There are some things I run into where are a little bit challenging, but for the most part, I've done that long enough. It's the sales, the phone, the marketing. That's the one thing that's tripping me up. That I need to learn more about. That's why I watch videos. There's a lot of resources on YouTube to look for that and get more information on that. So anyway, I think I've talked enough, and I'm gonna get out here and clean this truck up, get it ready for tomorrow. I may do another video tomorrow or Wednesday, because I might push, because I do know that possibly I might have a job tomorrow, but it may be on Wednesday. So I'm trying to line those two jobs up. I don't want to do them both on the same day. So I want to have time to, because see, when you do a junk removal job, sometimes it's like today, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to the not the transfer station. I didn't know if I was going to make it to the donation place and then the transfer station to empty the truck out, because it was a little bit later in the day, so that tomorrow I could go and pick up that pallet. So I canceled the pallet job and pushed it a day out, just to make sure I wasn't going to, not be able to commit to that job tomorrow. So I wanted to let them know. And then when I did get to I was able to get to the donation place on time, and then not have to worry about the transfer station. Now I got the day open tomorrow. But then again, I might get that guy might call. He still might call for that job. So I'm gonna leave it open, because if he does want that job, and if he does want to hire me, then I'm going to leave it open for tomorrow, and then just keep the Wednesday for the palletized freight load. And I'm going to continue to mark for the rest of the week. Hope everything's doing great out there, and you're doing good and prosperous. This is 10 Foot Truck. Daryl, Good Attitude Services.